All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we got one thing to talk about. And again, that's Facebook's coin, global coin. And it's probably going to steal all your data. Now, that should really come to a surprise to most people that Facebook is going to steal your data. It is interesting to note that Facebook has the data on everybody, well, that uses the platform on just about everything, except for, I would say, the least amount of data they probably have on you is your financial data, which is actually kind of surprising. Well, since recently, Facebook added a way to send money across their messaging service and things like that. So, of course, they have that data and your bank account information and who you send money to now. But before that, it was really just all of their games on their platform. And you could go on there and, I guess, buy more farm space or something for their farming games. I got nothing. But that's really not particularly useful data. Sure, useful data on how to sell better games and get more money from you, but that's the sort of the tip of the iceberg. So Facebook knows everything when you use the platform. It knows what you like and what you dislike. Actually, I think they removed the dislike button a while ago because people couldn't handle getting something disliked or something. I don't know. Again, Facebook's so weird. They know you share, your political affiliation, where you live, how old you are, your phone number, pretty much everything. And they use this data and sell it constantly over the years and have been in a lot of hot water over it. But for some reason, they're a corporation, so everything is fine, apparently. But if the regular person did this, you'd be in prison for a very, very long time. So, yeah, welcome to planet Earth, I suppose. But so this is nothing new. There was, so we can go back and you can just Google it. Facebook selling data, and it just never ends, basically. So pick and choose your own article. Don't believe me, just Google it. Facebook selling data to Cambridge Analytica. This was during the whole election deal, to try and convince people to vote Democrat and et cetera, and sort of push down the Republicans, like posts and things like that, promote different things and learn who wants what. It's just massive data, and they can do pretty much whatever they want with it and manipulate in certain ways. Hey, you like these sort of posts that say this and not this. I actually seen a little thing on data and how people typically don't really want to see the data that they say they do. Like a lot of people are like, well, we want news articles on medicine and economics and this, that, and the other thing. But really, what people are more interested in is sports and memes and interesting things like that. And that's what they upvote more. That's what they look at more. Even though people typically will tell you. So again, all of this data is up for grabs for these corporations like Cambridge Analytica, who go through the data and are able to extract all kinds of information from it and then sell you better things or produce better articles for you that can fit this narrative or that narrative. Basically, whoever pays for the data can manipulate it in that. Oh, don't forget the whole Zuck bot in Congress. So the Zucker bot is sitting in front of Congress, and the weirdest person I've ever seen. That's a person. Like right where my mouse cursor is, that is a person. I guess it's a real person. It's not a robot. So I was confused. Everybody has now told me, no, he is not a robot. I thought he was a robot, but no, he is not. It's the weirdest looking guy. He just had these weird smiles. I don't know if you guys actually watch this, but it's all over YouTube, and it's kind of older news now, but it was quite interesting. He's just drinking nervously the whole time and just barely answering questions. And what happened at the end of it? Absolutely nothing. Now, here's something you guys might not have known about, and this article has nothing to do with cryptocurrency, but we're getting there fairly quickly here. Sources say Facebook wanted financial data for years. Now, I've been talking about how I think for the past maybe 6 months or greater now, how the corporate coin is sort of going to start ruling the future. And I don't mean to say that Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin are going to suffer because of that. But I think one day they'll definitely easily be surpassed by institutional investors and corporations and things like that will invest into these cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies, and I have to do this really hard to define that. It's basically a service that already exists guised as a cryptocurrency. I think most of us already know this by now. However, with a cryptocurrency, we're going, with the public ledger of something like of like Bitcoin or Litecoin or even some of the private ones, it is very difficult to find out who those are. If you don't know who matches that public address, you can't really figure out who that person is. Again, you can do a whole bunch of research and kind of find out where the money came from and went to. It takes a lot of effort and isn't quite transparent. Even though Bitcoin is a public ledger, it's really just a bunch of gibberish of public keys of who owns what. And if you don't know a face behind that public key, then it's hard to tell. And you might have to wait for it to go down a little bit and then sort of do some detective work back. And, well, that's just not quite easy for corporations. I think that's why corporations have not really adopted Bitcoin and other things like that for their services, because they could just as easily use an existing cryptocurrency for their services and make money off of it, but with fees, just like everybody does, exchanges, this, that, and the other thing. Fair enough. But that's not full control. That's just them making a little bit of profit. They want more than that. It's not really just about the profit from the fees and them going, look how much Bitcoin we acquired because we started selling our products. Of course, another reason is the fact that it goes up to 20,000 and then down to 3,000 and then up to 10,000, and it's hard to hold on to that sort of thing. And of course, you'd have to sell it all the time, which is not too big of a problem. But again, it's more than that. It's really about the data and how they know everything that you did. And they're not necessarily a bank, so they don't have all your information. But once you use their crypto coin, they know who you sent it to. They know where you bought it from. They know how you spend it. And that data is worth more than the fees than they would ever require from Bitcoin if they adopted Bitcoin, like something like Facebook or Amazon or Walmart or something like that. They're all going to make their own coin, so they know exactly where that money is coming from. Because even if you go to Walmart and you spend something, sure, they know what you spent, but they don't know where you spend your money outside of Walmart. They could try, but it's more difficult. Again, going to be really easy. If Walmart coin, if you went to and took Walmart coin somewhere else other than Walmart and spent it, they know exactly where you spent it and can use that data accordingly. So Facebook may be under fire for how it handles data on more than 2 billion active users. And this is from September 18th, 2018. Again, nothing to do with cryptocurrency, but it does give an eerie suspect of what they're actually trying to do. According to a report which cites people familiar with the matter and documents reviewed by the paper, as of late 2017, Facebook urged financial firms to let them use customer data that it comes from its messenger platform for advertising and other initiatives. Several financial firms that were concerned about privacy reached agreements with the company to limit on how it could use the information that comes to its servers. So they were just like, yeah, no, you could use our information, but just kind of limit, just stay back a little bit. We don't want another court thing, but yeah, you could use a little bit. The talks between Facebook and the firms underscore how Facebook balances the use of data for targeted advertisements with concerns about user privacy. So again, Facebook knows everything about you and your political affiliation, what you upvote, what you share, what you do, what your number is, what your address is, what you look like, everything. But the one thing that they're sort of missing is your financial data. You don't really use money on Facebook too much, and even if there are ads, Facebook doesn't. You go on Amazon and you look at some tents, and then you notice when you go on Facebook, it's got some advertisement for some really great deals on tents afterwards. Boy, what a shocker. However, if you click on that ad, that's not necessarily meaning you bought a tent, right? Or you could have gone somewhere totally else after that. But they will certainly know it if they get all the data from MasterCard and Visa. Interestingly enough, MasterCard, Visa, Uber, and several other corporations are now backing Facebook Coin to be node operators. They paid $10 million to be a node operator of the stablecoin platform on Facebook. And nodes don't create new stablecoins, because if you just created new stablecoins, then again, you're kind of like Tether and you're a total fraud. So what would be the point? And we're going to get to that in a little bit. Why else would you pay $10 million to run a node that isn't producing a proof of stake or proof of work or getting the fees from Bitcoin or anything like that. So like many online companies, we partner with financial institutions to improve people's commerce experiences. I bet you do. Like enabling better customer service, and people opt into these experiences, Facebook told. We've emphasized to keep partners that keeping people's information safe and secure is critical to these efforts. It's such, it's so bad. It's such corporate nonsense. The paper reported that Facebook talks with financial firms have evolved over the years. Initially, the site claimed ownership of all the data and eventually allowed the firms to restrict the use of the information. Many deals were reached before Facebook's developer conference last year when several firms rolled out services on Messenger. The report noted that the talks with American Express back in 2016, Facebook said it wanted the spending data of individual cardholders who passed through the site, which would have given the social media giant more data for targeting ads. American Express wasn't on board with that and instead agreed to provide Facebook with aggregated transaction data. So all these cards are giving all of your data, your spending habits to Facebook. So Facebook's Silicon Valley coin, or global coin, or everybody just calls it Facebook coin, is a leap towards surveillance capitalism. So again, we're going to get into this a little bit. And before I talk about this, I just want to talk about the reason why you would pay $10 million to run a node, because that means now every time you use Facebook coin anywhere, whether you're sending it to an exchange, receiving it to an exchange, sending it to somebody else, or receiving it from somebody else, or doing whatever with it, that means that American Express, MasterCard, Visa, whoever partners with this and pays for a node, just hooking up their mouth right to your information and just gobbling it up. Just raw, and just imagine. I gotta get better at Photoshop. I need a meme. Somebody make a meme it, and they're just gonna. That's how they're gonna make their money. They're gonna make way more than $10 million that they put into it by getting all of your data, selling it, or targeting advertisers with it. So published by cryptocurrency news outlet Block June 14th, the partners for the project variously dubbed Libra and Facebook Coin. I think it's also Global Coin. No, I don't even think the developers of this know what to call this coin by this point. We know that Facebook is charging $10 million to run nodes for its cryptocurrency. Bitcoin has even uncovered a few who'd paid for it. So I'm launching a revolutionary new currency for the internet. Who do I need to get on board? Well, I need some on-ramps. So payment providers like Visa and MasterCard, why not throw in PayPal, Stripe, PayU too? The more the merrier. Clearly, I also need some merchants and service providers to give users an outlet to spend their internet money. Well, you can buy everything on eBay, and it certainly did wonders for PayPal. People spend money on Uber, although some insist on spending it with Lyft, and music streaming. So Spotify is in. So all these, it looks like they're in, or at least maybe this is just what they're putting on what they would need. But I know that Uber, PayPal, I think Visa, MasterCard signed up for it. Maybe all these sites, it would just totally make sense. Add in a few blockchain-related companies so as not to alienate the crypto crowd, and a sprinkle of nonprofits to make it look good, and we're golden. Oh, and some venture capitalists. Obviously, you can't do anything without venture capitalists these days. And like whoever wrote this article. Facebook gatekeepers could spy and ban. So yeah, for the launch of a payment ecosystem, Facebook has several boxes checked with its launch. But when we come back to the fact that these partners have each paid $10 million for the pleasure, Facebook has stated that it does not intend to control Libra coin or Global Coin or Facebook Coin or Zuckerbucks. Again, whoever wrote this is just amazing. Instead, after you launch it, it'll hand control to the Libra Foundation, essentially made up of all these launch partners. So Uber certainly didn't need to pay $10 million in order to accept the coin for ride-sharing services, nor did Visa need to pay for the on-ramp either. A more likely scenario would see Facebook courting companies like these to attach themselves to the project. So what are these companies paying for? For now, we'll assume that these nonprofits didn't pay, and just genuine, just token image improvers. So this is not a brave new world of borderless convenient money, but a big brother scenario. The current gatekeepers of finance and tech are moving to preserve the power that they see cryptocurrency eroding. Absolutely genius. Uber could very well easily start to accept Bitcoin or other crypto payments without spending $10 million. Is Facebook suddenly interested in finance and cryptocurrency, or is it still treading the only path it knows, the data industry, which I think is the latter? As CoinShares points out, this is less about payments and more about privacy and data gathering. Surveillance capitalism, y'all. I don't know if I would put that in there. $10 million for access to all the lovely data starts to sound like a bit of a bargain, and with the proposed level of KYC, that really is going to be some useful information. Somebody says Facebook coin is about revolutionizing data, not finance. Why would eBay, Uber, Lyft, Coinbase, Stripe, Visa, MasterCard care about governing the coin? More likely that the $10 million for a node is an investment to receive the transactional data to going through the said nodes. Again, because when you run a master node now, I can go out and get a master node for this coin or that coin, and the reason why is because you get more rewards. That's why just the incentive for the person to do that anyways, you get more rewards. You run a Bitcoin node and full node and process transactions, and you mine for those fees as well. So there are many ways to essentially profit from running some kind of cryptocurrency node. But remember that this is just a stable coin. So what are you doing exactly? You're just processing transactions. That would be like me just saying, hey, I'm just going to process all the transactions for stablecoin in my house and use all that bandwidth and computer power, etc., to do that for free, just because I like it. No, there would have to be some kind of incentive for me to do that, and I can't be producing a stablecoin. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble real quick. Now, these guys aren't Tether. Now, Tether has their own problems backing them, and how people think that, yeah, they're just printing Tether and they don't really have it backed. In fact, that was sort of proven when they were like, well, we lost 900 million. We lost 900 million, but we used our Tether to back it. So unfortunately, we used the Tether that was already backed by the money that we had lost. So now we're down 900 million, and we just have this 900 million Tether that doesn't have any money attached to it. So let's hold an IEO and get all that money back. This is Facebook. So this is a U.S. corporation. This is a big worldwide corporation that is going to be really watched. So they can't be printing. I would find that very hard to believe, just because I figured you'd get caught very, very quickly. Being in the U.S. and just a little bit tighter restrictions and this sort of thing. So again, you're not going to be making stable coins. So you're not just going to be making passive money. It's for the data. Let's just be real. It's just totally for the data. And at the same time, it's because their current system is eroding to some degree. Now, I don't think it'll erode right away. And I don't think it might be 10, it might be 10, 20 plus years before it really starts to feel that effect. But more and more people are using crypto, and more people are realizing that, hey, like, all I gotta do is just press a button. I can send crypto to you, and it's worth $500 per coin, and I can just send it to you immediately for a thing, and for a good or service, and you're gonna get it 10 minutes max, and everything's good. We don't have to go through a bank anymore. We have all of our money that we put into these coins, and of course kind of still need the fiat to make it have a value. I get it, yada yada, very, very long story. But that there's these huge advantages with this. So it's perhaps more surprising that Facebook didn't manage to find the desired 100 partners backing to the tune of $1 billion for the launch. Still, as open privacy director says, can't wait for a cryptocurrency with the ethics of Uber, the censorship resistance of PayPal, and the centralization of Visa, all tied together under the proven privacy of Facebook. So Sarah Jamie Lewis tweeted that. Sarah Jamie Lewis gets a sousy 1 point. 1 point for Sarah Jamie Lewis. And I just want to repeat that again, because it's just so sousy. Can't wait for a cryptocurrency with the ethics of Uber. Oh, so good. The censorship resistance of PayPal and the centralization of Visa, all tied together under the proven privacy of Facebook. Good. Yeah, maybe I'd give that one a miss too. So this is pretty clear at this point. I don't think most people in cryptocurrency are really going to fall for this. I did from time to time read, some comments, on Reddit's forums and such, when people are talking about this and they say, hey, I'm going to get in on a good thing. I don't believe in this, but I'm going to get in on it to make some money. And let me just tell you, I'm so sorry to whoever you people are that think hey, I'm just going to invest in this and make some money. I'm going to buy the coin early. It's a stable coin. It doesn't go up and down in price. That's like saying you're going to invest in Tether and wait for it to go up in price. Sometimes it goes up in price like 4 cents, but 4% extra price. I suppose that's pretty good, actually, to be totally honest. But No, this isn't something you invest in for the long period of time. Now, I heard a lot of things. I would like to speculate on the future uses of Facebook Coin, aside from just sending it to each other, using it on the platform for their games and for their products, or using it from like when you click on an ad and you could use Facebook Coin on this advertiser that gave you a targeted advertisement. What I think is going to happen here is that you're going to be able to tip on the platform eventually, maybe not right away, but if somebody posts a real juicy dank meme of a cat, doing something real silly, and you're like, I love that dank cat meme, you can give them one Facebook coin or something, like tip them, like sort of how like Twitter kind of wanted, like the tip bot of Twitter, but it's not really an official thing. But I think it will be an official thing on Facebook eventually, so that you will be able to sort of tip people. Another thing I read real quick, and I don't know if it's official because again, it was before the coin was really more out there. It was that you might be able to watch some ads and get paid in Facebook Coin, which is just an absolute slap in the face, because the ads that play on Facebook is making millions. Who knows how much it costs for these big advertisers to advertise to you on Facebook. Possibly millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, smaller ads, you can run a little campaign and it doesn't cost you so much. But these big advertisers are going to be paying hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to do this. And Facebook is just reaping all of those rewards and then maybe giving you $1 by watching 10 advertisements in a row. Just the absolute hugest slap in the face I've ever seen. So that's my 2 cents on Facebook Coin. There's just in my opinion, no doubt about it. This is just only for data gathering for these corporations. It's going to be just glorious for them. The corporate coin is really coming, and the fact that it's so easy for everybody to see all of your transactions and keep a long history of it. Now, this public ledger is not so public. This is going to be their ledger, and when it's their ledger, that's when you got a problem. At the very least, Bitcoin, yes, is public, but you got to know somebody's public key before you can put a face to it. I could go generate a bunch of public keys and then send something, in Bitcoin, and it's going to be hard to track that to me, especially if it gets moved around a million times. It's going to be kind of difficult. But of course, if I say, hey, I'm me, you can tip me at this address, of course, that's my address, and that's okay for some people. But I'm just saying that when Visa or MasterCard or Facebook has this, they're going to be able to do some big damage. You can't just get all of the Bitcoin data and all these random public keys and where it's going. All it's going is to another public key. You don't know what that is. Did somebody buy something? Did somebody send it? Did somebody just send it to an exchange? These public keys are just, it's hard to aggregate that data. It's hard to split it apart as well and really tinker with it. But with this, that it's, hey, it's this person, MrSotko's Facebook coin. I clicked on an ad. I bought this thing, or I sent it to this person because of the KYC. So now there's a name to everybody's Facebook coin wallet, essentially. And not good. So honestly, revolt. Do not use this. Tell your friends, if they're not into crypto on here, this is not a good idea. Do not buy it. Do not invest in it. This needs to go away. We need to fight this, because the more that people buy into this, the more that other corporations are going to go, hey, we can gather a whole bunch of data from everybody too. Hey, we can make our own crypto, and people will just buy into our product because it just says crypto or coin on it now. And I think that's going to be very dangerous. I think that's going to be very, very dangerous for crypto as a whole. I think that's going to be the decline of, I think there's going to be, that's when the gray line gets removed from crypto, and it starts to get everybody around you, all the corporations around you are going to be shoving it in your face, and it's going to push away the private cryptos a little bit. Not saying that Bitcoin will ever die off because of that, but it's going to really put a shadow on them, and everybody's just going to be focusing on these easy coins from corporations, and that's going to be grim times. And once that really gets rolling, you'll never stop. Nobody will ever be able to stop it. It's just, oh, look, these people made $1 billion, so we're going to do it. Oh, look at those people made $1 billion, so now we're going to do it. And it's going to spiral out of control to the point where it's just going to make everybody sick, and nobody's going to care about it anymore. Hard to explain. Moving on to coin market cap, though, real quick. $285 billion market cap, over 9,100 Bitcoin, it is over 9,000. And for you that didn't get that reference, come on, guys, wake up to that over 9,000 meme. So I think we reached about 9,300 or so Bitcoin, and we fell down just a tiny bit overall. But it does look like things are kind of in the red, some in the green. But I think it's just because everything pumped, and whenever there's a pump, of course, there's going to be a small sell-off. But for the most part, the sell-off is not big enough to really bring us back under 9,000. So we're moving and moving and moving. I think once we get to 10,000, that's gonna be really bullish times. Of course. Keep an eye out on the markets because everybody knows that once you get over 10,000 or 11,000, 12,000, there's always going to be this dip, and it usually occurs 3 or 4 times. It'll get over 10,000, go back to 9,800, go over 10,000, go to 9,600, go to 10,000, go to 9,900. Everybody's starting to get a little scared. Is it going to go over? And people get less confident about buying in once it gets over 10,000 because everybody knows it's going to go back down. So buying over 10,000 is a hard thing for people to do until they see it just start exploding and then FOMO in. So just remember that psychology sort of keeps people back from it growing too quickly. Although 2017, but again, sort of a fluke that I kind of wish we could just Kobe in the trash because 2017 was an absolute fluke. But it did bring a lot of awareness to cryptocurrency at the same time. Sort of gave it a bad name, but brought awareness to it at the same time. So welcome to cryptocurrency. But that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video. Helps me out tremendously when you do that. Very much appreciate that. Social media in the description below. You can give me a follow on those. But that's all I have for you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And as usual, I will see you guys next time.